Hey there, folks, and welcome to this little series about areas to run for the Zodathon and what some of the areas I think are compelling, and a little overview of some of the builds that you could use to run those targets. I won't be extensive by any means. Won't be going over every build, possible, but I will be touching on some of the archetypes now. On the right hand side here, you'll see I've got a listing of gear. Above that I have the run counter. That's what that is, in case you're unfamiliar with it. It's pretty close. I mean, you can run it the exact same way. Honestly, Fabian has the best recorded Pindle time with literally his Pit Barbarian build. Like, his Pit Barbarian has done Pindle better than anyone else has done Pindle, so this build can do just fine. This is the fastest you can actually run Pindle, and that is sort of what we're going for here. Even though this is ostensibly a rune find tournament, and you would generally think of higher player settings, more area damage based builds, what this is sort of looking to do is just kill Pindle a lot. Like really fast, and just kill Pindle a lot. So maybe you can win the sort of other side tournament with items, or you can just, kill Pindle 50,000 times and get 2 Zods. Who knows? That's sort of the intention here. Now, what I've got on the right hand side there is sort of the ideal setup. I'm not entirely on the ideal setup. Yeah, I've done some practice runs. I won't lie. I do want to sell those things. But so the first thing that's not exactly up to standard is I have a Cham, but I haven't decided if I want to Cham a Harlequin Crest or an Andariel's Visage. So currently I've done neither. What I'm doing instead then is I have a perfect Topaz in the Harlequin Crest, and that means we will be changing a little bit of gear. Okay, next on the line though, we're going to go to the Amulet, and I mean really what you're looking for here is 2 Barbarian skills, because if you craft an Amulet, you should have the 5% faster cast rate covered. So you're looking for two Barbarian skill levels. If you can get 15% faster cast rate, though, we can talk about adjustments in the Switch later on. Onto the armor, Enigma is the only choice. This is just a very good armor. From the faster run walk to the magic find to the increased strength. It's just, even if it didn't have teleport, this would be an amazing item. Switching over to our killing switch, Grief. Absolutely sure you have at least a 32% increased damage, most availability in your items. For what I have on the right hand side, you have to have 32 IAS. That's why I specifically listed it. Damage-wise, of course, Mo is better, but 32 IAS is really what you're looking for. For the offhand, ideally this would be a 6-ist phase blade, but I only had 5, and I figured I'd keep an emergency one just in case. I don't know, the government called and said I had to send them an ist or they would tax me more. I don't know. Remember, this weapon doesn't do anything. It's literally just a stick that adds magic find and does nothing else. So that's why it's the way it is. So I'll skip ahead to belt now. I'm using Trangle's Girth. This gives me cannot be frozen, which is of course what we would have the Cham in the Harlequin Crest for. Dropping Gold Wrap, okay, means we're losing some magic find. We make up for that. We sort of make up for that with the Topaz and the Harlequin Crest. There's a small delta there, but it's okay. But we also lose 10% increased attack speed. The max breakpoint we're looking for at Berserk requires us to have 42% attack speed. That's why we want 32 on the Grief, because with 10 from the Gold Wrap, we'd be at that breakpoint. So, with the setup I'm going for, I had to get some more increased attack speed. So I could have gone with Laying of Hands, which is 20% increased attack speed, and would give us a little more defense because it has the fire resist. But the bonus damage to demons wouldn't help us at all because we're running Pindle. Pindle's undead, all of his minions are undead, so instead I went and tried to get a little bit more magic find by going with a rare pair of gloves. What I have listed to the right, though, you'll notice I have Chance Guards or Ghoulhide. It really is up to you. So Ghoulhide offers a considerable amount of damage, right? It's got a plus per character level damage and attack rating to the undead. Also gives you a little bit of mana leech and a little bit of life. Now, if you happen to have, if you specifically went searching for, basically, a 1.07 or 1.08 pair of ghoul hides, they will have half of the attack rating per character level as the 1.10 or 1.13, you know, 1.10 plus or whatever it is version does, but they have 8% damage per character level instead of the 2 that the current patch version would have. I would strongly recommend, if you have the 1.07 version, that you use those. You can use the 1.13 version because I certainly feel like I could be okay with more damage with this build. I'd be happy with a little bit more damage. But Chance Guards are also good. A little more magic find, also fine. It's up to you. But again, make sure you're hitting that 42% IS breakpoint because neither Ghoulhide nor Chance Guards has attack speed. So if you don't have a Cham, you're probably going to want to run something else. Alternatively, what you could do is just pull a Jewel of Fervor in the Harlequin Crest instead of the Perfect Topaz and still run your Ghoulhide or whatever. Especially if you didn't have a rare that was any good. Ring-wise, it's just Magic Find, Boots. Again, Magic Find, although the damage on War Travelers is actually a thing. It's quite helpful. On Switch, so this is still taken from Fabian's Guide for the Pits, which is aimed at 105% faster cast rate. So what we've got here are two 50% faster cast rate weapons, either Wizard Spikes or Suicide Branches. As it turns out, I made a trade with Nagiza a while ago, sent him a Cham, got a bunch of stuff back, and included in that he sent me two Isted Wizard Spikes. So I figured this seemed like the time to use them. You could, for running Pindle, you should be absolutely fine, I assume. I have not tested, but I assume you should be fine running 63% faster cast rate instead of 105. So you could probably run 2 Heart of the Oaks here. 2 Heart of the Oaks would give you plus 6 skills, and that would give you a much higher item find rate. Or, find item percentage, presumably. Also, if you had the 15% faster cast rate on the Amulet, and this is true for the Pit Berserker as well, you could swap one of these for Heart of the Oak, have 90% from your weapons, 15% from your Amulet, and still be at 105. So, yeah, if you happen to be a luck sack, you can profit from being a luck sack. Who knew? I will stay on that switch because that's where we need to be. As far as charms go, I've got a Geed. I'm running this Sounding Grand Charm. I don't list it to the right. You don't have to. I'm running this instead of using Battle Command because as it sits, I'm 1 point away from the 54% breakpoint on find item. So I'm using this and so I don't have to cast battle command. You can cast battle command, you can do this, you can set up your gear otherwise. It's up to you. That's why it's there. And then again, like I said, I feel like I could use a little bit more damage, so I've added in two sharp charms here. Could definitely just have these be magic find instead. I'm a little low, actually, compared to like Fabian. I'm very low on magic find. I'm at like 512 on kill, and like 60 less than that on Hork. So that would be 454 or 452, whichever number I said. So your mileage may vary. It's up to you. And then the rest of this is mostly magic find. I've got a little bit of resist and life stuff here, and a little bit more damage stuff here. You can of course fill up more of your inventory if you would like. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the gear. As far as skills go, again, just straight from Fabian's guide, which will be in the description, by the way. Like if if you aren't familiar with it, or if you want a refresher, it'll be there. Click it, read it. It's a great tool for playing a Berserker. Of course, 20 points in Berserk, 20 points in Howl, 20 points in Find Item, 20 points in your Mastery. You want to then max out Shout while you can, but you also, for utility skills, you want Natural Resistance and Increased Speed. Just one in those, just to get them. He suggests Battle Command. I also suggest Battle Command for running the pits, but for running Pindle, I don't bother with it. So if you want to use a respec just for Pindle, you could probably leave Battle Command off, but again, that's for you. You're saving one skill point that's going to go into Shout, which, to be fair, will be more damage because you get another 10% from or 10% to Berserk. Keep in mind that the way the build is set up, if you do exactly what I just said about how you distribute your points, you will finish at level 99. So keep that in mind if you feel like you want to put points somewhere else. As far as stats go, you want enough dexterity to wield your phase blades, and then strength and vitality, there's a little bit of play there. You want just enough life to stay alive, no more. Of course, in hardcore, that can be a little bit tougher to decide for absolute sure. You may want a little bit more of a buffer. Also, for hardcore, you could replace his gemmed phase blade with, a shield or something else. I don't know. Plus life phase blade. I don't know. It's up to you. But you're looking to get enough life, and then put the rest in strength for no damage. And as far as the mercenary goes, I don't have any gear on him presently, so that's a little bit bad. I'm going to say it. It's a little bit bad. Ideally, what you would have there is Insight, Chains of Honor, and Earl's Visage. I really think is what you're looking to have there, but it's not currently what I have, and in fact, I'm going to get away for a minute, and I'll be right back with gear on my Merc. Hey there, welcome back, folks. So now the mercenary has gear. I'm using a Dural Shell because I don't actually have a Chains of Honor, and I still want him to have cannot be frozen, but like I say, I haven't decided what I want to do with my Cham yet, so yeah, so he's using Dural Shell, and Daryl's Visage gets a little bit of added damage, some increased attack speed, other good things, and Insight in a 1.07 Great Poleaxe. There you go, Great Poleaxe even. Thank you to Nellio for trading me that. And really, I mean, You don't have to have a 1.07 base for your insight, but if you do, it's nice. You do actually want to have that. Mana recovery, because when you get in there and there's all these monsters around you and they have mana burn a lot of the time, you really are going to be happy that you have quick mana regeneration. So let's get started with actually running, shall we? And let's take a look at what we're doing. So we're going to cast our battle orders. We're going to switch over to teleport, land, and howl, and then we'll switch over and kill. And kill with Berserk and Hork. So go over that again, switch over, teleport, howl, find Pindle, kill him with fire, and then Hork him. Pretty straightforward, but it's not complicated. And there we go. Not 100% sure I got the Hork off there. Do have to be a little bit careful of getting hit. So there are a few sort of words of warning I do want to kind of pass along. One is when you land, I'm going to call it, when you cease teleporting. Honestly, even when you are teleporting, but especially at 105%, you're probably okay. If you get hit immediately, right, like as soon as you land, you probably won't be able to get off your howl. You'll probably be knocked into, knocked back or put into hit recovery depending on how hard you get hit. And also, don't do what I just did. Do not ever do what I just did. Did not get even anywhere remotely close to Pindle before I started actually fighting. You see, the runtime there is abysmal. What was I talking about now? Yeah, like there. See, if you get hit like that, and you don't get the howl off, you're in an incredibly dangerous position, right? You are not, I know you're a barbarian, you're not actually that tanky. Like, we'll see here in a minute, less than 2,400 hit points. Like, it's not, you are not an, a completely unkillable thing. You are reasonably fragile, especially when your resistances look like mine. So you're leaning heavily on howl. Heavily. You see here, this is a mana burn pack, and having insight on the Merc was amazingly strong there. So you're leaning heavily on howl. You're also, keep in mind that howl, as strong as it is, you're in a cramped space. Let's be realistic here. It's a cramped space, there's objects in the way. There are pillars in the middle. When you go to howl, some of them are just going to hit the pillars and mill around, so it can be a little bit difficult to find Pindle himself. So it behooves you to try to, as much as possible, land in the exact same place. Pick a place, presumably close to Pindle, but reasonably safe. Like, I try to go past because they start going forward when you teleport through. So then you kind of have a little bit of extra time on the backside to get your howl off. And then again, finding Pindle is your next big struggle. There's also a little bit of a struggle, at least if you're like me. I have a tendency to be a little bit heavy-handed when I'm teleporting on my a little bit heavy-handed on my right mouse button. So if you are like that, then sometimes when you go to switch weapons, if you're still holding the button down, like for howl specifically in this case, you won't actually switch weapons. You may sit there for, a few seconds thinking you're berserking and you're actually just howling. So kind of pay attention to that. as far as the actual, changing or, any of the actual gameplay, it's reasonably straightforward. Not uncomplicated, but straightforward. Again, the actions are, if you think them through ahead of time, they're really straightforward, right? You teleport to the same place. Yeah, see, that's what I was talking about not bringing your finger up in time. How I was just howling away there in the corner. You cast your battle orders because you want the more life, and then you teleport because you want to get there fast. Howl everything away so you're safe. Yeah, see, there, the howl did not go off. Then you kill, you horde. Simple to say, just in your mind, think it through ahead of time, and it's a lot less daunting, the actual procedure that you're working on. And see, this was a little less smooth coming from the front like that. That's why it's at least I think it's a lot easier to teleport past them first, or in the middle. That also kind of works. I'm sure I just gave some hardcore player a heart attack, which was not my intention, but I'll take it. So let's see, is there anything else? I mean, I'm certainly missing a number of things here, but is there anything else I really want to get across that I can think of in the next few runs? We're probably going to go to 25 runs here, folks. It's not going to be, super demonstrative in terms of a sample size, but at least gives you an idea of what's going on. Also keep in mind that the fastest runtime it says up there, unless I'm sorely mistaken, was our first run, which was not actually from beginning to end. We started in the middle. The fastest run I have actually recorded doing this was 14.618, which, as it turns out, is only very slightly faster than Fabian's average in his record run. I'm not saying the kid's good, just saying demonstrably he is rather skilled. But hopefully, seeing this shows that, I'm obviously not playing, great. This is not what you would call top tier play. And you still see that it works fine. Everything is working out a-okay. I wouldn't say it's coming up Millhouse, but still, it's doing pretty well. So hopefully that was, illustrative or helpful. This is sort of the way this is going to go for the whole process. Just a few runs, kind of go over what's going on, and hopefully that's helpful to you folks, or build some hype or something. Regardless, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you some other time, some other thing. Cheers.